We saw the tree of the biggest tree.
We're about to see the largest spruce tree in the world. That is a very big tree.
It was it the spruce? It was Spruce Almighty.
Yes. Wow. Hey everyone, welcome back to Notier's Frontiers.
We travel around the world on our KTM 1190 motorcycle. We've been on the road for like 5 years now, 25 countries, and we are currently on our way to Alaska.
That's right, the very tippy top.
Tippy top. So thanks for riding along with us.
In the last episode, we were about to go over this very intimidating bridge.
But like, yeah, this bridge, you have to do this huge clover leaf to like, I can only assume to gather enough speed to go over this huge arc. And then there's like signs that are like, you know, high gust area.
Yeah.
I was scared. I was nervous.
Only slightly.
Only slightly, you know.
But I mean, high gusts, we're kind of like a sail when it comes to wind. It catches us really easily since we have two people. It was kind of like a roller coaster.
It was crazy.
You know how you go up and up and up and up and up and you're waiting for that first kind of arc? Yeah, it had that same kind of feeling to it as we were going around the clover, and you see this huge arc in the distance of the bridge itself.
No idea why it's that tall. There's no need.
I think they have giant like cruise ships or something that might go underneath
Columbus? I have no idea.
But I was also concerned even after we got over the bridge. I didn't like the feeling of being that high over the water. I didn't like the feeling of the winds blowing us around. I didn't like any of that. But then looking at where we were headed, everyone had told us, oh, you know, it's a temperate rainforest over on the Olympic Peninsula there in Western Washington. And that sounds beautiful. That's exactly what we wanted to see. Yeah. But rainforest means rain. And forest. And forest, that's right. And certainly there was rain on the horizon.
Finally going to be able to test out our new climb gear suit to see if we would be completely dry.
We're gearing up for the rain here, and check out these gloves that I'm wearing. These are Tim's gloves. Clearly they don't fit, but they're nice and warm and waterproof.
But yet again, the forcefulness of the KTM. If you know when like you're breaking the sound barrier, you can see that like force field. The KTM does that with weather patterns. Apparently. And it just pushed all the rain away. We got a little bit of drizzle, but like...
That was it. Yeah, really surprising. So finally we did cross the bridge. Yeah. And our first order of the evening was
We had our little British
bullet point was to find a campground for the night. So we looked on iOverlander and we found an area where there were several kind of pull-offs for dispersed campsites.
So we found this little magical forest road, and we're about a whole minute away from our campground. So let's see what we can see. Look at the moss on all these trees.
Fuzzy branches.
Yeah.
We rode around into the forest to find the best spot.
I don't know if this is like a boat launch or I think this is not where you'd want to camp, but it's pretty. That's not an anything.
I was also a little concerned because it was Friday. I'd heard that a lot of weekend traffic comes right over from across the way from Seattle.
I don't know if it's like that one spot.
Yeah, I think that was it.
It did seem like a lot of those sites were filling up. And finally, we did find a perfect little spot kind of tucked into the forest, away from everyone. You could just hear the birds. There were beautiful trees all around. So remember how I said that last night in eastern Washington there were no mosquitoes? Check this out.
There's a lot. I don't think they'll show up. But what will show up are these awesome chips. I got my name all over them. They're so delicious. And they're jalapeno. So yeah, we just pulled into one of these little offshoots of the road, and it ended at a beautiful little spot, and we right away knew, well, okay, well, this is where we're sleeping tonight.
It's a lot of mosquitoes. But it's okay because it's nice and cool here, and I'm in my full-on motorcycle outfit, so good luck getting through all that Gore-Tex. What toiletries do you bring? And this is my little toiletry bag. Tim and I now have separate bags, but I carry some Q-tips, my toothpaste, always in a bag because it always explodes. This is my toothbrush. I like it a lot. These are new for us. They're called Quips, and they're super light and they are electric, but take, I think, a AA battery, and it lasts like 2 months. It's pretty nice. I also have my soap, which includes my shampoo. So a bar of soap, and then this is my bar of shampoo, and a razor so that I don't turn into a hairy monster. That's pretty much it, just some floss, and I just have a little bag that I keep with me. Those are my toiletries. It was such a peaceful night. There were no noises of anything besides,
mosquitoes.
Yeah, there were mosquitoes.
Yeah.
That's true. But, we were nice and cozy in our tent, and it did rain in the night. It just kind of pitter-pattered on the tent slightly, but nothing too much. And when we woke up in the morning, it was overcast, but it wasn't raining, and we were thankful for that. Good morning. Today we are in Olympic National Park. Actually, I'm not sure if we're in it, but we're pretty close to it. It's really beautiful here. There's just these gorgeous trees. Let's see if I can show you. It's the temperate rainforest. And it rained a little bit last night. It's a little chilly today. It seems like the high is going to be 65. So I'm gonna try out my heated gear.
Ready for a winter storm here. Look at this. Forecast 30 below. No, 67. But oh, better to
Oh
be
yes, I got my heated
safe
gear.
and sorry. Heated gear, down jacket, fine jacket, neck buff. Beautiful face. If that doesn't warm your heart, I don't know what will.
Oh.
No. But I have my buff on too.
Yeah, yes, you do.
Yes, it is le buff.
Our plan today is to kind of go along the coast and go around Mount Olympus. So it should be a relaxing day, and we're just gonna see the sights and enjoy ourselves and hopefully find some place to camp tonight. And our plan for the day was to just kind of explore around. We didn't really have a set destination. We didn't have a set route. We knew that we had heard that Highway 101 was really nice throughout Oregon and Washington. We didn't know if this particular stretch was going to be nice, but we figured, you know, it tries to go along the
highway
coast.
on the coast should be awesome.
So we decided, all right, let's head down Highway 101.
Yeah.
Caught behind Venetian blinds, out of reach for the city lights. This ain't where I belong. Hey, look at me, man, what I've become.
We stopped at this place for lunch, and there was a very friendly gentleman there that we asked, you know, what are the best roads in this area? And
he went and opened a can of worms and just
told us a lot of information.
Not literally, but just figuratively. It was like that guy from Maxwell Tapes commercials. I was just like, whoa, there's a lot to take in here.
But we did take in one
one
piece of advice.
Information went by real quick, and I took it.
Yeah.
And that was the only thing that I was like, well, let's try this thing.
He said, you have to go to Lake Quinault.
Yeah.
Lake Quinault is kind of inland from the coast. It's more towards Mount Olympus, and it is surrounded by some of that temperate rainforest that we were looking for.
He said it's a beautiful lake. I like beautiful lakes. And when I zoomed in on the map on my phone, I saw this little white road that kind of twisted up, and where the lake ended, it followed a river, and there were some waterfalls, and there were some other things. And I said, well, let's try to go do that. That looks like something we can do. It should be fun. And man, don't know this guy's name. And he gave us 110 things to do, and we did one of them, and I think I picked the golden ticket.
Yeah, absolutely.
We definitely went to nature's Willy Wonka. It was amazing.
On our way there, we did have to go along Highway 101 a little bit more, and it hit the coast. It was hard to see what was going on the coast because there was a little bit of a bluff, but one of the turnoffs said, you know, to the beach, and we were like, oh, let's just go to the beach. Why not?
And I literally rode in the ocean.
Yes!
It was amazing. I learned nothing
right to
from
the
the
beach.
Bolivian salt flats. I got a new motorcycle and said, let's put it in salt water. Let's baptize it.
Perfect.
Baptize it in sin.
We could see all the mist just of salt water kind of coming off of the ocean spray. And we were like, well, we probably shouldn't be here very long,
No,
but it is pretty cool.
And when I say I rode into the ocean, like where the tide would go in and out, not tide, but the waves. Like I rode where it was.
Where it was
not where
damp.
Yeah. But it was fun. I mean, the sand was nice and firm and compact.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to be that idiot to drive his motorcycle out there and drop the bike and the sand suck and then
the tide comes in.
The tide comes in. And be like, well, that was fun. Let's go to Alaska in a van. Van life? Hashtag van life. No tears on tears. Stay tuned. But we got in.
Yeah.
And we got out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Finally, we turned off of Highway 101 and went towards Lake Quinault.
Saw the tree of the biggest tree. Was it a spruce? It was Spruce Almighty.
Yes. So we get to Lake Quinault, and it is very pretty. But you see on Google Maps.
No, I saw a sign that said world's largest tree,
spruce tree
to the right. And we wanted to go one more to the right around the lake on these roads. Whatever. We go down this major intersection. And then, we see a sign with next to a little parking lot that says world's largest spruce. And we like dumb little tacky things. And so we went to go see.
Well, this was not a little thing.
I see what you did there.
So we are in a temperate rainforest. Look at that.
Emphasis on Tim.
Temperate rainforest.
Emphasis on temper.
And we're about to see the largest spruce tree in the world. This was a very big tree.
It was a very big thing.
Yeah.
So we parked the bike and took a short little hike.
Look at this moss.
But it was just beautiful. You walk through this little rainforest-esque thing.
Gorgeous forest.
Mm-hmm. And then you end at this insanely large spruce.
That is a very big tree. Huge
I called
tree.
it Spruce Almighty.
Yes,
it was
that's right.
Insane.
191 feet tall, 58 feet circumference. Look at this tree. Oh my goodness. Look at the roots. Wow.
It was just, you couldn't get a picture of it from the ground to the top without putting on fisheye.
Yeah. It was amazingly huge.
Yeah.
All the roots kind of gnarled, and what a beautiful, beautiful tree. And it wasn't just that tree that was so amazing about that stuff.
I mean,
all
we're from the
trees
Midwest,
there.
right? So we're not used to
We
large
have trees, but not giant trees. I mean, these are like the giants of the giants.
Yeah, if you took me there and been like, where are we? I'd been the Redwood Forest. Of course, these trees are freaking insanely huge.
Yeah, or Avatar.
Or Avatar, that's Mother Tree. The day was kind of winding down, and I was like, well, today's been a good day. I've ridden in the ocean. I saw the biggest tree in the world. Those are 2 checklists.
Pretty good. Yeah, pretty good day. But again, it was the weekend. The campground seemed to be filling up, and we wanted something maybe
a little bit more secluded.
Yeah, a little more secluded. So, and we also wanted to go down these little roads that went along the tributaries to the lake.
Ooh, tributaries, good word.
So we went down this little gravel road that headed along the river, and
just
amazing.
Yeah.
Wow, that forest.
My favorite road in, I don't know, I say it's my favorite way too often. But this was one of my favorite roads.
Wow, those trees. They had this moss hanging off of them. It was like this beautiful drapery. And then the ferns, it almost looked like a prehistoric dinosaur forest with all of those ferns and the huge, huge trees. You could just imagine a brontosaurus kind of weaving its way through.
It was nuts. And all of these trees were just the radius of the trunks, and it was just huge, and then moss, and like some of them have died, so it's just like those ghostly skeletons of these old trees.
It was a fantasy forest. To this campground, it had trees that were out of my dreams.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is it. There was one spot left.
Yeah.
And we took that spot, and like, we have to stay in this beautiful, gorgeous campground. And we got stuff off the bike, we started setting up the tent, and then the neighbors came up to us and they said, just so you know, there was a bear walking through this campground. Yeah. So we are at this awesome campsite, which is gorgeous. There are a lot of mosquitoes.
There's more mosquitoes than sand on the beach.
I don't know if you can see them, but
I don't know if you can see us.
well,
The mosquitoes.
Tim's got mosquito bites going
don't
on.
show it off.
Yeah, there's a lot of mosquitoes, but it's a very nice campsite because look at these amazing trees.
Yeah.
But the neighbors across the way said that just a few hours ago they saw a black bear walk through the camp, like on that road over there. And he was kind of rummaging through garbage and the little campsites over here. So there is a bear box. So we're definitely...
We're gonna sleep.
That is not where we're going to sleep. But we're definitely going to put all of our smelly stuff in the bear box, every little bit of it. We've already had dinner and we washed our dishes very thoroughly, so hopefully there's no smell with that. If the bear comes back, hopefully he or she will leave us alone. But we don't have bear spray yet, so kind of defenseless.
Yeah, they said there was a bear in the area. Or
Sniffing through kind of the area and looking for garbage and things like that. And we were like, okay.
Yeah, but we're on our way to Alaska, so we needed to get used to camping around bears and being intelligent around bears and being,
Yeah.
Bearias, if you will.
Bearias.
Yeah.
Is it nice down there at the river?
Yeah, it's pretty.
And you look amazing in your neck buff.
I know. Super close up. This is my shot. Thumbnail. Nailed it. You're welcome, everybody.
Oh, man.
We committed to camping that night with a bear in the area. So stay tuned to see if there's a reason why we're not showing below the waist here. Do we have all of our legs? Stay tuned. If you like this video,
Please give us a thumbs up.
and ring the little notification bell. Ding,
And the
ding.
subscribe button below.
And stay tuned, and we'll see you next time.
That's right.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Bye.
Stay safe.
We'll be heading around the mountain when we go. We'll be heading around the mountain.